system, and I believe she'll be doing justice to this conversation. So, Ms. Amarachi, in the light of the topic exam malpractice, can you please give us an overview of what examination malpractice is all about?
Okay, examination malpractice is any illegal acts, carried out by the students, most especially for undergraduates, before the exam, during the exam, and after the examination, that is against the rules and regulation and the conduct of that particular exam. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I heard you say an illegal act.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So if this is well stated, like this is an illegal act, why is it that students are usually involved in cases of exam malpractice? I mean, research has shown that the percentage of students that are caught in this act is increasing on a daily basis. So what are the factors that surrounds this particular act?
Okay, there are so many factors that could, make students want to engage in examination malpractice. And then I'll just be mentioning a few, but whatever I'm going to be mentioning is not going to be limited to those factors.
Yeah.
So we have a case where we have inadequate or teachers that are not properly trained. Yes. So a case where you have teachers that are not qualified, that are not able to impact the required skill and knowledge to the students, because we know that people learn differently.
Yeah.
So there are different ways of impacting a particular knowledge to a student. So in a case where the teacher is not properly trained to be able to equip these students and prepare them for these assessments or these tests, you find out that the children may want to resort to examination malpractice. They want to find ways of covering up for the teacher's lapses.
Yeah.
So we could have cases where we have inadequate infrastructure in schools. So for schools that do not have well-equipped classrooms, where conducive places where students can stay to learn or even write examinations, sometimes you find out that we have, for an example, for an exam setting, you could find out that we are supposed to have about 3,000 students come to sit in just a space that has just 100 seats, for students, and then they will start telling the students to pay, they don't provide a conducive environment for students to write the exam. That can give room for the students who want to cheat, especially for students that are dishonest and maybe did not prepare well for the exam. Another thing that could make a student to want to engage in examination malpractice is so much workload within a short period of time. So some students have a lot to cover. They have so many engagements. So much workload could be that it's not just academic workload. It could be outside school activity. It could be maybe social activity or work activity or certain things that engage in them. So they have a lot to do within a short period of time. And then if they're not able to make up for that, they would want to look for other means, other unfair means to want to cover up, because what is expected from them, this expectation of that you are starting to come back with a certain grade. Yes. So for people that are still undergraduate, you're expected to come back with the first class. For people that are still in maybe secondary school or maybe primary school, you're expected to have nothing, lower than third position, first, either you're the first or the second or the third. So there's this pressure from where you are coming from to meet up to expectations. So people do not want to be perceived or seen as unlearned or people that are not smart. So they want to use the shortest means ever, to do that. Another reason why people could actually cheat could be due to peer pressure, the kind of friends that they have. So most of the times we feel like our friends do not have the ability, or people communicate do not have the ability to influence us, but they strongly do have the ability to influence us. So for cases where you could have your friends engaging in the act, they could actually demoralize you from reading, the best way to actually gain good success. They could encourage you to, take the shorter route. And then if you are someone that's maybe a hardworking student, you read your book, and then you begin to notice that maybe after the end of any assessment and you get to compare your grade with that of your friend and maybe getting the person's grades through unjust means, and then you are seeing that the person is getting better grades than you, you may want to succumb, to the act, or maybe to the pressure of wanting to get your grades like that. I think for most persons it's because of they come into a setting where they are doing something they do not love. When a thing is not defined, when you don't have your why of what you're doing, why you're doing a particular thing.
Why.
Yes, a strong why. There is great chances of you, abusing or not fully maximizing, your potential in that particular area.
Yeah.
So in terms of for persons that maybe in university kind of setting, undergraduates in tertiary institution, they could actually come into a course that they do not like, or they are admitted into a course that they do not like. And then university,
they gave me the course.
When we don't get what we desire, it's people giving us, and it's not us, getting it. Yes. So that kind of setting, the student's mind is not prepared. Yes, it's not prepared. So, but you've received this stern warning from the house that you can't come with anything lower than this. So when it's that time for exam, it just dawned on them that it's time for exam. There is that pressure. Yes, that pressure to pass, and then most persons will now want to indulge in examination malpractice. Another strong thing why people may want to indulge in examination malpractice is because those persons that are caught are not actually punished. We find, we see this majorly in the university kind of setting, that some persons, are caught, involving in examination malpractice. And we know that there are different types or forms of examination malpractice. We have the cheating, we have the impersonation. So there are so many things. We have the cooperation where, two persons have already arranged themselves. We are going to cooperate and sit for this exam. And then, so there are so many forms of examination malpractice. And then maybe when a student is caught talking in the exam hall, or maybe with an external material, coming into the exam with an external material, the student may just be asked to stand for 5 minutes and then sit back. There is no disciplinary measure carried out. So these actually discourage students that are actually hardworking. So in a situation where a student is not, severely punished, or we have an act and a law for persons that actually engage in examination malpractice. So what we find out is that people that engage in this kind of misconduct are not punished, and that can actually discourage a hardworking student. So these are some of the things that can actually make people to want to engage in examination malpractice.
These are